At exactly 4:10 p.m., thousands of feet above the treacherous valleys of northern Pakistan, a single warning light flickered to life in the cockpit of Flight PK61.
On board was one of the nation's most beloved figures, pop star turned spiritual preacher, alongside 46 other souls.
Everything appeared completely normal.
2 minutes later, something happened. Something that had never been recorded in the history of commercial aviation. Within 180 seconds, a routine flight turned into a 250-mile-per-hour nightmare. What really happened in the final 15 minutes of Flight PK61?
This is future-proof tech.
The future is closer than you think.
Let's dive in.
Understand why 47 people boarded this aircraft on December 7, 2016, you first have to understand the place they were leaving, Chitral. Nestled deep within the Hindu Kush Mountains, Chitral is a region of breathtaking beauty and unforgiving geography. Until 1970, there wasn't even a single road connecting Chitral to the rest of Pakistan. To travel anywhere else, residents literally had to cross the border, into Afghanistan, and re-enter their own country. Even after seasonal mountain passes and tunnels were constructed, a 14-hour ordeal through perilous mountain roads left travelers with one primary lifeline:
Flight PK61.
On that cold winter afternoon, ATR 42-500 aircraft, tail number APBHO, sat on runway 20. On board was a mix of families, local leaders like the deputy commissioner, and a famous religious celebrity, returning from a week of charity work. At 3:38 p.m., the twin turboprop engines roared to life. The plane lifted gracefully into the skies, carving its way through the mountain valleys toward Islamabad. For 30 minutes, it was a textbook flight, until 4:10 p.m. While the captain was making a routine cabin announcement to the passengers, the first officer spotted a light on the overhead panel.
PC1 warning. Propeller electronic control.
Captain paused his announcement. The crew pulled out the emergency checklist, suspecting a routine sensor bug. But as they initiated a system reset, a sound filled the cockpit that chilled both pilots to the bone. Without warning, the left engine's power dropped from 75% straight to 0. When an engine dies in mid-air, standard operating procedure is clear. You feather the propeller. You turn the blades parallel to the wind so they slice through the air without creating drag, allowing the plane to fly safely on its remaining engine. Captain Janjua hit the feathering switch. Nothing happened. He tried a second time. Instead of flattening into the wind, the rogue propeller did the exact opposite. Driven by the rushing wind, it began spinning out of control, maximum design speed. The left propeller turned into aerodynamic wall, dragging the left side of the aircraft backward. In aviation, this creates what pilots fear most: massive drag. The left engine wasn't just dead. It had turned into a massive wall of resistance, slamming on the brakes on the left side of the plane, while the right engine pushed at full throttle. The plane began to violently pull to the left, heading straight toward the mountain walls. Captain Janjua fought back with everything he had. He turned his control yoke entirely to the right, engaging maximum countersteering. But the immense drag on the left was overwhelming the flight controls. As the plane lost forward speed, it rapidly approached its stall speed. The critical threshold where wings lose lift entirely and a plane drops out of the sky like a stone. Desperate to maintain speed, the captain shoved the right engine into maximum power. And then, the unpredictable happened. Without warning, the rogue propeller unlocked. The massive drag on the left side vanished instantly. Because Captain Janjua was still holding full right control to fight the drag, the sudden release caused the aircraft to snap violently into a barrel roll. The right wing dipped 90 degrees straight down toward the Earth. For 24 terrifying seconds, the aircraft inverted over the rugged terrain, plummeting from 13,500 feet. Panic erupted.
Terrain! Terrain!
Captain managed to level the wings, regaining just a few hundred meters above the valley floor. But the respite lasted only seconds. The left propeller seized up again, generating massive drag for a second time. This time, there was no altitude left to trade for speed. At 4:14 p.m., 3 distinct Mayday calls echoed through the speakers at Islamabad Air Traffic Control.
Pakistan 60661, Mayday!
Directly ahead was a mountain wall near Havelian. With the wings failing to produce lift, the stall warning horn began blaring throughout the cockpit.
At 4:15 p.m., at a speed of 256 kilometers per hour, Flight PK61 struck the mountainside.
Initial statements attempted to blame pilot error, citing the extreme conditions. But when French aviation investigators from Airbus and ATR arrived to examine the wreckage,
long before Flight PK61 took off from Chitral, a tiny microcrack existed inside one of the left propeller blades. It had been overlooked during maintenance.
During the flight, that crack finally fractured. The tiny imbalance created violent vibrations that shattered an internal engine seal, showering metal fragments into the oil system.
Those fragments jammed the overspeed governor. This controlled the propeller speed.
The pilots weren't facing a simple engine failure. They were fighting a mechanical system that was actively working against them.
In the aftermath, the entire fleet of ATR aircraft in the country was grounded for extensive safety overhauls. It is a sobering irony of history that on December 7, 2016, a day set aside to honor 47 lives were lost to a preventable mechanical flaw.
A tragic reminder that in the skies, safety is not merely a checklist, it is the difference between life and death.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this.